It is day 13 of the Rewire. So the last video probably ended very abrupt. I'm not even quite sure where I got to. I hadn't removed from the previous 5 days any of my footage of the Rewire here off. I've been taking the clips off sort of every night and I never cleared the card. So I couldn't then record any more stuff as of yesterday when I was getting to it. But what should have been finished, done, dusted, maybe come back for a couple of hours, another week, just to strip out some old cable, didn't happen. I got home last night at 9 o'clock with still a list to do. I have no idea, and I've tried to say this to my other half consistently every night, why it's taking me so long. And then I did look back at the picture I took, and I did do 3 fuse boards yesterday. So amongst a million other things, but I've still got a list of things to do. So last night to power up, it's the only reason I stayed so late, because I had to get the tester out, I had to confirm. I was happy with test results for the stuff that I was turning on. There's obviously several circuits here that are coiled up because I was going to make them all off and make it neat, and I thought I'm wasting my time right now doing silly things that I don't need to do, that is not going to be turned on, because as like this cable here hanging down, it's not connected to anything. There's a few things that I'll run through with the board in a little bit when we get to it, because I want to show off the data stuff that we're going to do, put the switch on. I've got loads of stuff to rip out. There's one circuit down here which is wagoed off, which is the brand new kitchen feed. And if you remember off the previous videos, the kitchen and the dining room, I'll run through. So the kitchen and the dining room are staying on. We're still using the existing lights because we've not ran anything to it. So this wall here is being pushed out, hence why we've got the wagos. This is all done. I pulled it out this morning, guys, just bear with me. So this room, and this room, there's currently no lights on because we brought the feed through here, which are all these feeds. So we've got the smoke alarm circuit, which is just linked through because it's going to be a heat alarm at some point in here. We've got 2 6mm, we've got 3 2.5s, and we've got a 1mm for the lighting circuit. But because the feed that came through for the existing from the fuse board, the old lighting feed downstairs, went through into the office, went through to here, went into there, went far away to the lounge, came back to here, and then this was the last point. I presumed that this point would be the first one, and then potentially bounce to this one and go across. Oh, how wrong I was. So all I'm going to do now, which is what I entail as the biggest job I've got to do today, drop this down, go and pull that feed, take the floorboards back up, run it to here, give this a permanent feed. I know this is linked to the dining room, so if I want to link that through so the dining room light still works, even though they're not really using it at the moment because this wall is literally coming out in about 5 days. Get this all working, get it tested, get it back on. Then I can put all my circuits on. I can just finalise the last few tests of the RCBOs and get the timer working for the outside light, the up and down lights, start ripping out some cable in the garage, and then collect the rest of my stuff that's dotted around the house tool-wise. But I did have a big sort out this morning and a big tidy up in here of all my bits. I've got a little bit more hoovering to do, which is the sawdust here. I want to rip all of this off, and then when I get a chance in a bit, this armour cable, like I said in the last video, is that huge big lantern over there outside. I'm going to try and reach that back to the board, and if I can put the old immersion timer back on for the time being, which is here, we can get that working. But the lights are up, the smokes are up, I just need to put them on. I could do the one in here, it's just I've said don't take the jackets, the hats, the little blue hats off the rest of it upstairs because of the decorating. So, and of course, the one light fitting that no one wants to take down. A quadruple strip light with flathead screws. Mint. Don't roll off. Under the floor. It's just not as simple as we thought. I thought I could just bring it here, but no, there's one cable. It's going to get more floor up. We're getting through the list really well. One of the last things we've got to do physically in the house, this is the BG Evolve range, the RJ45 outlet. So this is the master. So we're going to do a little link lead. I've already got half of it made up here with our little boot on the end. That's going to plug directly into the router, which is down here. So we're going to do this off now and just punch the back out. I'm finally ready to show everyone the masterpiece. Look at this. So I've only loosely put the board covers on, just so I can pull them off to show you guys. So obviously you saw my footage with this earlier. These are pre-made cables that I had. I've put them on the switch. I've hidden the transformer for the plug top behind that. The customer, if there's anything goes wrong with it, he knows from the videos, you can just take this pattress out, easy peasy. Let's get this out of the way. So I wanted to do a separate lighting board, which I've done up here. So we've got the timer for the up and down lights, the doorbell transformer, the doorbell feed. I'll explain this in a minute. Obviously everything else is on RCBOs. Pulling this off and that falling out. So the reason I had that, in here we've got some of the weight, it's a whisker DIN rail attachments. I wanted to do that, the link through. So the reason we got the link through here is because, like I said, previous videos, many videos, we've got two massive floodlights, one at the front, one at the back. We've got two standalone sensors, PIR sensors, with 3 cores. So this is the link between the 3 core of the switch live cable and then the load to the light. Everything is still heat shrinked in the back. This is the original stuff put on ages ago. I just managed to, as I was stripping it, it slid back up onto the cables. Everything is still up and labelled, and this here is just a feed to the soffit lights which the customer is going to have at some point. They're going to set this up. This is obviously the Navitas version, Navitas ring doorbell transformer. I say ring doorbell transformer, a doorbell transformer. So yeah, got that all up in and over. We've got a 10mm feed in the board. We've got 6mm here feeding this bit, and this is obviously just off a breaker that's in here. Jumping down, I haven't ran through this yet. Obviously this is the main earthing bonding conductors, whatever you want to call it. Obviously all heat shrinked up. The customer asked me why I did this, because they didn't know if it's a done thing or whatever. I've done this because I think this is an easier way to explain and to see what is connected and what isn't. Obviously, other side through here, we've got the water, we've got the gas, DB2, this one, DB1, this one, and obviously this is the main coming in. I like that that's there and it can be pulled out, tested, do what you need to do. It's not hard to get to any of this stuff, hence why I've just put that filler panel at the top, and the plan was to always to put that there. So if any more cables want to be brought down once the ceiling's in or messed with or pulled up, it's just 2 screws, pull this off, and you can do all the rear entry from behind. Coming across, come on, from this side, so you can see how many blanks we've got. That's for a reason. So same thing as the other board, we've got all the heat shrink. The only cable that doesn't have heat shrink on it is the red one, and we can all guess what that is. all coming across. We've got a spare one here between the 6 amps and the 20 amps. Here we've got coming across, so we've got some spare 20s. There's a few more spare 20s. I've put 6s in for now, just because I had them. But we've got 5 2.5 mils that are flapping around. 2 for the utility sockets, which are there, and 3 more for the kitchen socket or an island socket. I started making the ones off yesterday, the 2 6 mils, 1 for an island feed, 1 for a cooker feed that aren't in use yet. And it was a waste of my time to start stripping everything, so hence why that is all set up like this. Build quality for the Navitas, fantastic, absolutely love it. I like the terminal bars at the top. They are very nice and strong. And obviously you've got the punch out at the back with the slot that slots in rather than doing stupid grommet strips all the time. So overall build quality, absolutely fantastic. Like I said on the previous video, or it was a pop-up, the Navitas stuff, I do have a code. So if you use the code Bundy on Navitas website, which will be linked down below, you will get 20% off. Go and check that out. Get yourself fitted up one of these. We can get some nice pictures done. Depending on time now this is all done, I'm gonna have a mess around with the armoured behind and see how we get on with that, because I just love being here so much. I've been here for so long, I might as well put me on the wheel if the customers